Hello and welcome to GenCon 2013. My name's Chris, and I'm here with Jordan Weisman. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing well, Chris.
So what are you here talking about today?
We're here with Harebrained Schemes, which is Mitch and I's company we formed about 3 years ago. We just released Shadowrun Returns, which was a Kickstarted big RPG, computer RPG. And here we're talking about Golem Arcana, which is a new hybrid miniatures game. So we call it the first digitally enhanced tabletop miniatures game.
Okay, tell us what you mean about digitally enhanced miniatures.
Well, I love miniatures games, and I've been designing them for 30 some odd years, but one of the challenges with them is that they have a high barrier to entry because there's a lot of rules you have to read and understand, a lot of reference, a lot of record keeping, a lot of math, things like that, and I wanted to be able to get rid of all that because we carry these supercomputers around in our pockets now. I figured, well, those should be able to do all that. So we invented a little stylus that you tap the figures and you tap the board, and everything else gets taken care of. All the record keeping, all the reference, all the math is all done. So you get to focus just on playing the game and not on all that stuff. But then it takes it one step further because now that we've actually created a digital version of the game by you informing the computer everything you're doing, right? We can then add all sorts of game dynamics, which are usually things out of computer games, like for instance a save game. You set up this big figure game, you played for 2 hours, and then you got to like clear the table for dinner. Hit save, clear everything off, come back, shows you where all the figures go, has all the numbers saved, all the game states, all that kind of stuff. Organized play, it can push all that data up into our servers, and then have all of the kind of leaderboards, everything, all that kind of stuff, much more readily available and handled in a much more comprehensive way. And of course, we can push data back down. So new scenarios, enhanced units, storyline stuff can be pushed down into the app all the time.
Great. So can you show us some of these miniatures that you've been working with?
Sure. So these are we're showing currently just 7 of the figures that'll be available. There you can see they're very large. They go from 50 up to 150 millimeter tall. They're all golems, which are magical constructs, and you can see on the figures are small pilots, what we call golem knights. The game uses kind of 3 levels of characters. There's the physical golems, there's the golem knights, which are digital, they're inside the app, and then there's the ancient ones, which are the gods that you bring to the battlefield to support your efforts with blessing, curses, and miracles, and those are digital as well. So all of the figures come pre-painted and pre-assembled. So that way you can really just get out, get rid of that barrier to entry. Just start playing the game right away.
Okay.
This is an example of, this is kind of what the stylus will look like. So as you tap the different figures and their attacks and so on and so forth. It plays very fast. Takes a game that normally would have been like a couple hours and you can really play it now like 45 minutes.
Great. So what devices can you use to play this game with?
Any smartphone that's Windows, Android, or iOS it's got Bluetooth 4, which is basically, if you bought it after about mid-2011, it'll have Bluetooth 4 in it. And then it'll also work obviously with any of the tablets, iPad or Android or Surface. Okay,
great. And do you have an example of some of the surfaces that we'll be playing on with your miniatures?
Yes, we can. We wandered over to where the games are being played. The game's played on terrain tiles like this that have 3x3, what we call regions, and you can build your map as big as you want by using different tiles. And then when you play the game here, we can see these guys behind me playing. You tap the different regions to say where you want to move to, or if you're using an area effect weapon, you tap into a particular region, or if you're calling down a blessing or curse from the ancient ones, you can tap the regions for where those go as well. So here you can see as he taps a region, now he just said he wanted to move to that region. If he taps again to confirm it, then it says, yep, go ahead and move the figure, and he moves the figure into the region. So it's checking for all the movement points, it's checking for all terrain types, making sure the move is legal, all stuff you don't have to worry about for reference anymore. And then if he wants to use, he's gonna bring up another, tap the name of a character there. He's just learning, so, and then it's saying, all right, you want to go to this character, you confirm that by tapping again. So then it brings up all the information for that figure. It's on the top is its moves. He then decides where he wants to move that figure, and then advances it. And then later they'll get into combat by selecting attacks. There's both data cards and on the bases all the attacks are listed. You select the attack, point to the figure you want to target, and all the math is done for all the terrain modifiers, dodge, and all the rest of it to figure out what the hit numbers are.
And for those that want to support the Kickstarter, they want to get into this game, what are the tiers that you're aiming for as far as for pledges?
Well, the first tier at which you get a copy of the game is $60, and that comes with the stylus, 6 pre-painted figures, the 6 terrain tiles, and I think it's 12 digital pilots, 3, and I think it's 5 digital. Yeah, you have to check the website on this, but about 5 of the digital ancient ones. So it's enough for a good fast two-player game. And then there'll be a number of figures that'll be unlocked as stretch goals, and a bunch of additional features, such as augmented reality, where you can use a phone to then see health bars and the blesses and curses and ancient ones floating on around the battlefield, things like that. Different levels of AI, things like that, which would be for solo play as stretch goals as well.
All right, great. Well, we look forward to seeing this when it hits Kickstarter in September.
Great. One thing, if people do want to get involved early, if you go to the website, golemarcana.com, there's a tab that says free figure. And if you just give us the email address associated with your Kickstarter account, if when the Kickstarter goes live, you do decide to back, you'll get a free figure, an additional free figure for kind of getting involved early.
All right, great. We'll have a link to that below so that you can go in and you can check that out, sign up, and get your free figure when you do back it. So thank you very much.
My pleasure, Chris. Thank you.
Have a great Gen Con.
You too.